Hey team, it is Crystal here, and I am the founder of Team Pay It Forward, and I am a 2-star diamond, and I have a bunch of people who are right on the cusp of almost there, so I should be changing soon. But I wanted to share our weekly training with you today, and our weekly training is based off of end of the year strategies, how to create a resolution effect. A lot of people always tend to think, and it is true to a certain degree, that the end of the year, the last quarter in fitness, in this industry in general, is tough. It is a tough time. Everyone's focused on the holidays. Everyone's focused on stuffing their faces, spending their money on presents or useless gifts that they'll be giving away and that will be sitting in closets, whenever else, but it's not focused on fitness. Fitness is not a priority at this time of year, and this is starting now. October comes, we're busy, and we're focused on Halloween. That's first, and then the candy starts and everything else. Then we're going into Thanksgiving, and it's doing all these different parties and hosting these events and all this food that's associated with the season, making sure that you're baking pies and cookies and all that kind of stuff that comes along with it. And then, of course, it's Christmas. And in between there, we just throw in the towel because we say, oh, well, I'm already addicted to sugar because of Halloween and then Thanksgiving, and I just don't have time. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to, be a part of a group. I don't have the money. I need to buy my kids Christmas presents. I need to do this. I need to do that. Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm sure you have heard that if you've been a coach for over a year now. And I know that you're going to hear all that kind of stuff. If you are a new coach and you're coming into this season, it's going to happen. That's going to happen. So I wanted to share with you today some end of the year strategies, some strategies to help you move forward, to have a forward momentum in your business so that you create a resolution effect. So that come the new year, not only have you been consistent each and every month this past this whole quarter that we're finishing this year with, but that you create so much momentum moving forward into January and February, when all of the resolution kicks in and everybody's looking for fitness and putting that as their priority, that you've created so much momentum that your business is going to skyrocket. Will this happen automatically? No. You might have more business in January, potentially, just because, again, people are thinking about that. They're prioritizing fitness. But if you don't create the momentum now and you don't start pumping the well now, you are not going to have a substantial increase in your paycheck that you are just expecting. So just to let you know, for me, showing some examples, I have the past 2 years that I have worked, my first year, my first December to March, I more than doubled my income. So that's in a 3-month period that I went from the end of 1 year and into March of the next year. I more than doubled my income, my weekly income. And then this past year, last year, I increased it by 67%. So I'm pretty confident that you don't have a single boss ever in the history of the world who would ever increase your income by that percentage over a 3-month period of time. But you have the potential to do something like that. And you need to be intentional and laser focused right now in order to make something like that happen. So we're going to talk about how do we do that. So right now, I'm just making sure I have a lot of notes in front of me, so I want to make sure I don't forget anything if you see me looking down. But right now is critical for the growth of your business. What you do now is going to affect you in the new year. So first things first, I want you to just think of a couple things, a couple of warning signs I want to give you, I want to put out there. First of all, you need to be careful that you are not having an employee mindset, right? Waiting for someone to tell you what to do, waiting for someone to give you the directions, or kind of just skating through, kind of just cruising through, like doing the bare minimum because it's the holidays. Why would you go above and beyond, right? But instead, I want you to say, how can I make things better? Have an entrepreneurial mindset. How can I make things better? Don't just show up and expect a raise. You can't continue to just do these daily things and say, oh, yeah, sure, it should keep moving forward, whatever else. You need to say, how can I be better? How can I be a better coach to my customers? How can I be a better leader to my coaches? How can I be better? How can I work on myself and my weaknesses? How can I make my strengths stronger? And how can I be better? So create your no matter what list. If you are an entrepreneur and you are taking this business seriously, you are working no matter what, right? Not to say that you're not going to ever take time off, but you're not going to be the person who makes excuses. You are going to have a list of your non-negotiables that you get done. So for me, if I am running a challenge group, which I do every single month, all the time, it is non-negotiable to me that I check in and I am engaging with the people that are in my challenge group. It is non-negotiable to me that I check into my team page to see if there's anything that I need to address, if there's anything that I need to call attention to. I am making sure that I am leading my coaches in the best way possible. So if there's a free group coming up, I'm telling them how to get that rolling. If there's a coach sneak peek running up, I'm getting that set up so I know that people are running it and whatever else. So I am making sure that I have certain things that I am doing daily and consistently. I might be sick one day. Does that mean that I don't work the business whatsoever? No. I get my non-negotiables done, and then I go and take care of myself and whatever else. Same thing, if I know that I'm going on vacation, or say, for example, with the holidays coming up, you know that Christmas Day, clearly you're not going to be doing a ton of work or whatever, or certain holidays or Thanksgiving or whatnot. So you set yourself up ahead of time, just as if you were an entrepreneur in any other business. So if you were a restaurant owner, you could close the restaurant down if you want, but most likely you're going to maybe have shortened hours. You're going to hire certain staff and work it out and schedule everything out ahead of time, whatever else. You're going to make sure that you take care of things, that you are prepared to handle whatever's coming at you, whatever you've decided. So maybe that means auto posting your or auto scheduling your posts. So you don't have to worry about it and you don't have to get on there. Maybe that means getting in, 30 minutes in the morning before everyone else wakes up. So that way you can get your stuff in, you do your stuff, and then you get your workout, and then you're done for the day and you can spend the rest of the day with your family. Like whatever that happens to be, make sure that you have created a no matter what list. So a couple of examples, some examples that would be on a no matter what list. Check into the team page. Post on social media, connect with 3 people daily, answer emails daily, check into my challenge groups, uplift 3 people daily, listen to a podcast daily, a project or a team training for my team each week. So some of those are examples. So think about what would be on your list, what's on your no matter what, my non-negotiable list, and something that you will commit to doing daily to move forward. And then you have your, it would be nice to do these things list. So maybe if you have that time and you get that time, then you say, okay, I'm going to double or triple what I just said. I'm going to go in there and do even more. I'm going to create a video. I'm going to work on my blog post. I'm going to do whatever. Maybe you're setting up your posts ahead of time so that, you know, for the next week or whatnot. So you have your do no matter what list, and then you have your it would be nice to get done list, right? So have those, use those. And then as an entrepreneur, you have to come into this as a problem solver, not a whiner, right? So often what happens is we tend to whine. We say, oh, it's just so slow. Nobody wants to do this month. I'm just having so much trouble. Oh, I mean, and it might be the truth. It might be the truth. But is whining going to do anything about it? No. And that's the thing I tell my kids all the time. Why are you whining? Whining's not going to help your situation, but we still tend to do that even as we're adults. We whine about it. And when we whine about it, it brings our focus to that. And then that brings our attitude down. And guess what? Then that is reflected in our posts and when we interact with people and all of that. And that does not help anything in this business. Positivity is what fires this business up. Negativity does not. So aim to be a problem solver. If you don't have an upline who is helping you with your problem, solve the problem yourself. Seek other assistance from other people on your team or elsewhere in the upline. Watch videos from people on YouTube. There are a bajillion videos from coaches who are wildly successful with videos. So find a video that answers your questions, fulfills your need, whatever you're seeking out or searching. So you are a problem solver. You are not a whiner. And that's what's going to help you move forward. So I want you to think about this. In farming, we plant, and then we nurture, and then we harvest. And you reap what you sow, right? So with people, they need to see you being consistent. They need to see you achieving results and having time to process their decision before they're ready to commit. They have to know, like, and trust you before they say yes. That's why we talk about it all the times. Go for no, right? It's good to have no's. You're planting seeds because those people, often people will say no before they say yes. And those people are then watching you. And so that's why you need to be consistent. You need to share your results. You need to share your story. And those people are processing that information and saying, wow, this really could be something that could change my life. Wow, this really could be something that will help me lose those last 15 pounds, whatever it might be. Wow, this really could be something that actually gives me more energy and makes me feel good. I haven't felt good in a long time. So it takes an average of 75 to 90 days for the seeds that are planted to mature. 75 to 90 days. That is 2.5 to 3 months. That is the time frame that we're talking about. And I'm sure that you've noticed, if you've paid attention, that the people that you invite let's say, the people that you invited in July, they probably, maybe 1 or 2 of them actually bit the bullet and did it in July when you invited them. But most often, those people didn't do anything until August, maybe even September. Maybe they're just now on the cusp of actually doing something. And that is normal, guys. That is normal. So again, that is why posting consistently is so important. And that is why sharing your story, adding value, engaging with people is so important in your posts. Don't just put things out there to put them out there. Think about, what is the message that I am sharing? What am I attracting? Who am I speaking to? And put those things out there and realize that there are people that are watching you now, and they're waiting to see what you do and how this affects your life. And then they will come back and they will say, I want to do this too, based off of what you share and what you show. So, some characteristics of success. You need to lead with passion. Passion trumps so many things. Let me just tell you, I'm going to say passion and experience. So, hey, if you don't have experience, then you lead with passion. When you invite somebody, are you genuinely super excited? Like, does that like emanate off of the page if you invite them through a message? Or does that like maybe it's not. So maybe you need to send them a voice message through Facebook and you say, hey, I am so excited that you are interested in this. And they can hear the fluctuation in your voice. They can hear the passion. They can hear the excitement. And that gets them excited, right? Do you have a passion for helping people? So let me just share this with you. Okay, so are you going to say like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're interested in doing our next group with me. I know you're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. I have loved it so far, and I have already seen such great results, and it's only been 1 week. The Shakeology is out of control. It just gives me so much energy, and I just feel so good. Let me just tell you. Or you're going to say, this has really changed my life. I'm glad that you're doing this too and that you're interested. It is $160 if you want to start, and it's worth every single penny. Let me know when you want to order. Think about, are you nervous? Sure, of course. But are you expressing that? Think about, okay, you're not inviting people just to invite them. You're inviting people because you believe in this. You believe in this opportunity. You believe in these products. And that is why you want to share it. You want to pay it forward, and you want to help other people. So why wouldn't you be stoked about that, right? So share that passion, share that excitement. Let people know that you care and that you're excited to do this with them, and that this is amazing that they want to do this and invest in themselves. And so when you lead with that passion, you're going to get a lot more feedback, right? So try to mute the nervousness. Try to dull that down and really lead with passion. Be enthusiastic. Get over failure quickly. And I talked about this in my video from 2 weeks ago where we talked about being here a year from now, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have a lot of highs and lows. You're going to ride that roller coaster. And the people that are successful are not the people that have this like magic trick or anything, this, rabbit in their hat or anything like that. It's the people that are consistent through the highs, through the lows, that they don't stop, that they continue moving forward and they don't give up. And that is the people that are successful. And so you need to get over failure quickly, because again, like I said in the beginning, if you are like sulking, it's okay. I get it. When I fail all the time, and I get really upset sometimes. I have a lot of pride, even though I try not to, but I'm full of pride. And so I like to do a good job. I like to, know that I've accomplished something. And so on the times that I've quote unquote failed, you have to get over it quickly, because it's going to dull your shine. It's going to just not be a positive thing, because people are going to feel that effect. They're going to feel that vibe off of you. And if you are in that negative space of like, oh, this is so horrible, blah, 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 or, oh, this bums me out. Like, I'm sorry, but you're radiating that, and people can feel that, and people can sense that. And that's not going to attract anything but the same thing back. Like attracts like. And so you need to get over it quickly. What you focus on expands, and that's just so true. So I want you to think back about when you were a kid, and think about, you were born to be persistent. And I want you to think of yourself like, for example, walking or riding a bike or anything like that. But when you were walking, you fell so many times. I'm sure of it. But you had that in your head. I am going to walk, gosh darn it. And I'm going to make this happen because I want to get over there and I want to get into this and I want to do that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody else is walking. I can do this too. And you are persistent and then you achieve it. So there are so many things that we are as kids persistent in. Like, you know, when you want, like when a kid is at the grocery store and they want something, mom, 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 right? And they are persistent. They are persistent. And so somewhere along the way, we lose that. But it is inside all of you, all of us, that we have that. It's innate inside of us. And so use that, run with that. So don't, you need to show up as if you already have a 6-figure income business. Act as if you do and treat it like that. And it will become a 6-figure income business. If you are at Success Club 10, and I am so guilty of doing this myself, often in the past. And this was one of the biggest triumphs that I had to, that I hit. I had to overcome this mindset. And it made the biggest difference in my business. But if you are at Success Club 10 and you say, oh yeah, I can relax now. I've hit my goal. I'm good. I'm going to cruise a little bit. Oh, I'm going to watch that movie tomorrow night instead. I'm going to go and have some more TV time. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, I don't need to work my business as much today. And guess what? Next month is going to be really hard. And I have learned this the hard way. I have done this too many times to count, and I will never, or let's just say I hope I will never do this ever again, because you lose momentum. You lose that forward force, right? And so don't relax. Like, do you need to push as hard? No, but you need to be consistent. You need to be in that daily persistence. You should have a why that is burning so deeply inside of you that makes you so passionate that you want to accomplish this. You need to accomplish this. You're going to make it happen, and there is nothing that can stop you. This business can be for anybody. I will tell you that. There are all kinds of people who are wildly successful in this business, who are 15-star diamonds, who are making 6+ figures, well into the 6-figure income. And it is because they did not give up. Did they hit bumps? Heck yeah, they did. Heck yeah. But they kept going. So you need to keep pumping that well. Like we say with new coaches, you're pumping that well and you're pumping that well, and maybe you get like a drop of water out and you're like, all this work for that? Yeah, right. That's so not worth it. No, but you know what? As you keep pumping that well, the water is going to flow. And it might take you a month and it might take you 5 months, but the water is going to flow if you keep pumping that well. And consistency is the key to this business. Don't put a ceiling on your success. Stop doing that. So don't just say, okay, I'm at Success Club 10. I'm going to relax, because that's putting a ceiling on yourself. Why not achieve Success Club 15? Why not get 20 if you can? If you helped 10 people, why wouldn't you want to help 10 people? That's 10 lives that you could potentially change right there. So why would you stop at 5? Why? If you think about it that way, that sounds ludicrous, right? So don't put a ceiling on your success. So many times we often hold ourselves back. Stop holding yourself back. Start dreaming bigger. Start reaching further, because you can do that. You're the one who holds yourself back. If you say, oh, but my upline this, but my upline that, or I don't have the resources, or I don't have the team, or I don't have whatever, BS. I'm calling it out right now. I started with my upline does not actively work the business. Christy is 4 people above me, and I had to reach out to her and seek out with her. I had no idea what I was doing. I stumbled all over the place. I don't have an upline that's supporting me, and I am still successful. I am still at the point where I'm earning a 6-figure income. Like, I'm sorry, but there are no excuses. I had to start from scratch. I was on some inside leg somewhere, whatever else. I had no one giving me coaches below me. So you can do this. You can make this happen with an upline or without an upline, right? We all have the same resources. Some of us have some better support systems. If you do not, it doesn't mean you can't make it happen. So don't blame it on you. How can you, or on your upline, sorry, don't blame it on your upline. How can you be better? How can you move forward? And how can you make sure that you don't repeat those same mistakes for your team, right? So you control your success. That is very important. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. So you need to have a why that creates a burning passion to make it happen. So in order to think, okay, if you don't know what your why is yet, for those of you who are new coaches, or maybe you've been around for a while and you still don't have a why, a really burning passion why, well, I want you to think about, and don't say, okay, so a lot of people often say, new coaches will often say, my why is because I want to help people. That's not your why. We all want to help people. That's why we're in this business. That's why I named the team Pay It Forward, because it's all about helping people. It's all about helping people become healthy and fit and more confident, helping them become more financially stable, helping them, be at home with their babies, whatever it might be. It's all about helping people. But that's not your why. That's not what's going, that might drive you. But deep down, like, you have to have something that is going to drive you on the hardest of days, why you're going to get out of bed and do this, even when it's hard. It's not just to help people. As saintly as you might want to think that you are, you need to have something more internal that is going to motivate you to move forward. Right? So I want you to ask yourself, what about Beachbody do I like? Right? What has it done for me so far? Write these things out. What do you want from this? That is creating your story right there with those 3 questions. And that is helping you figure out your why and why you're here and what you're doing. And then you need to go out and you need to share the heck out of that. Right? So just like we always say, diamond is a decision, a high level of commitment that delivers results, right? So I want to give you an example that it's a Tony Robbins example. He said, and a lot of you guys do this. I hear this all the time. I've done it, I'm sure. If someone's going to quit smoking, they need to make the decision and say, I am going to quit smoking. That's it. It's done. Done deal. No question in my head. I'm quitting smoking. They don't say like, oh, I really hope I can do this. I really hope I quit smoking. I think I might be able to do it. I really want to. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That person is going to be smoking in like 2 days. They're not going to be able to make it happen. And often we approach our business this way. It's up to you, so don't plan for failure. Don't plan for failure. So if you're saying like, oh, I really want to make this business work, I hope I can hit Success Club, I'll try really hard to do it. No, you say, I'm going to make it happen. I am going to hit Success Club. I am going to move my business forward. I am going to create a 6-figure income. I am going to bring my husband home from his job. I am going to stay at home with my babies. I am going to travel the world. Whatever, fit in, put in place whatever you want to put there into that sentence. But do it. Don't half, don't do that. If you go in wishy-washy and kind of, oh yeah, we'll see, guess what? It's not going to happen. Or you might get lucky and it might happen, but it won't happen consistently, and you won't build a business. You won't build a solid foundation of a business. And so it is important for you to be on point and say, I am going to make this happen. I am going to make this happen. Let me tell you an example. I love this example. I mean, I love it and I hate it at the same time. But last year I said, I am going to be a 5-star Diamond Elite by the end of the year. 5-star Diamond Elite. Done. I am doing it. I will make it happen. That was December of last year. We are in the end of September, almost October of the next year. I am not 5-star Diamond Elite yet. I am not 5-star Diamond yet. You can bet your butt, though, that I say I am going to be 5-star Diamond. I am going to make it happen. And so even though I didn't hit it within the time that I wanted to accomplish it in, I am moving forward and I am going to hit it. If it takes me 5 years or 2 years or 1 year or whatever it takes me, I will not give up. I will be consistent and I will move forward and figure out, how can I be better? How can I make myself be better? How can I grow in order to make this happen? So quit making excuses. A couple of things that can help you. Share your transformation. Your transformation is going to be the most valuable thing that you have. And so when I say transformation, I'm sure you think, oh, my physical transformation. Me, I did not have a physical transformation until after I had my daughter, which was well into my Beachbody business. So when I first started, I had no physical transformation. I was already in shape. I was a personal trainer. I was eating clean. I was doing all that stuff already. So I didn't have a physical transformation. And I personally thought that I was at a loss, that I was starting at a deficit. And that was baloney. Again, that's another thing that's saying, like, putting a ceiling on myself, like setting myself up for failure. Oh, I don't have this, so I'm not going to be as good. People aren't going to be attracted to me for what I have to offer, blah, 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 right? No. So there is so much more than just external. If you have an external transformation, that's fantastic. Share that. That is powerful. Use that. Make sure you take amazing pictures and use that. But if you don't, it doesn't mean you don't have a story. It doesn't mean you don't have a transformation story. I saw 2 incredible posts today about transformation stories. One of them happened to be Caitlin Hoban. Oh, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Sorry, Caitlin. One of Jack's coaches, and shout out to you, ladies. But she shared a transformation. It was like, I don't know, 13-year period, 15-year period, something like that, where she's the same exact weight. She's, whatever, that kind of thing. It doesn't have anything to do with physical, but she shared how she's changed and she's transformed inside, how she's quit smoking, how she's a healthier person, even though she weighs the same exact. She's healthier now that she's into her 30s versus when she was in her 20s, and she's had a kid and whatever else. So she shared all of that. And that is powerful, because not everybody has a weight loss story that they need to share or whatever else. Again, if you do, that's amazing and you should share that. But it could be an internal. It could be an emotional. It could be financial. If it's emotional, another example would be like emotionally, I have a coach on our team. I was the shyest person in the world. I didn't have that much confidence in myself. I just knew I wanted to lose this baby weight, whatever else. And guess what? She has blossomed into an incredible coach, an incredible leader, someone who's moving forward in her business, has quit her job to be at home with her babies. And she is, has had this internal kind of emotional transformation. She's so much more confident. I can see it in her posts. So she shares that. She shares how Beachbody has not only changed her externally, but internally as well. And for her, financially, it's been able to help her to leave her job and do, be at home with her kids like she's wanted to. So those are the kinds of things that when you share your transformation, it doesn't just have to be an external. It doesn't just have to be a weight loss journey or anything like that. It can be all of that stuff. And that is so powerful. When you are giving people hope and you are giving people encouragement and inspiring them, that is what people are looking for in this world. And so if you can be a part of that, you will connect with them. Your income will increase or shrink to match the amount of personal development you do. This is the one thing. I know you're going to roll your eyes and you're going to say, oh, here she goes again, that PD thing, whatever. But to grow in this business, you have to grow yourself. It's a matter of fact. If you listen to the National Makeup Call this week, she talks about that, how her business has transformed and she has been so much more positive since she started doing regular personal development. Make it a part of your life. I am not a reader. I have been on the same book. I like to look at it. I like to skim through. I like to have it in front of me. But I've been on the same book for months now. And I do reference it and I do read part of it, but I get through very slowly because I am not a reader. How do I get my personal development in? I listen to podcasts. I watch YouTube videos. I listen to books on Audible. I am doing those things on a regular, consistent daily basis. And when I do not, I notice my business suffers. And how it suffers is because of my outlook. So something that happens negatively, like if a coach quits, it bums me out and brings me down. If I have not done personal development, it brings me down 100 notches versus 10 notches. If I've done my personal development, I say, okay, I pick myself up, I dust myself off, and I move forward. And I say, gosh, that stinks, but I know that there's someone out there that's going to need my help even more, and continue to move forward. And that's because of personal development, guys. And I want you to think, I'm going to end with this. I want you to think back to a story. A starfish story. I'm sure some of you, most of you, maybe all of you have heard this story before, but a lot of times we get focused on the numbers. A lot of times we get focused on, I have to hit this. I have to be that rank. I have to do this, blah, 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 blah. And we forget, we say like, oh, I haven't accomplished anything. It's been however long. I'm not very successful at this. I might as well just quit. But I want you to think, have you helped one person? Have you changed one life? There's the Starfish Story. There's a boy on the beach and he's on this beach and there's a ton of starfish washed up on the beach, and the tide has gone down and they're stuck on the beach. And if you know about starfish, you know that if they will dry out in the sun and they will not survive if they're not in the water. And so this little boy is taking each starfish and throwing it in the water. Again, he's a kid. I'm going to go back to that kid mentality. So he's a kid and he's doing this. There's an adult man that comes up and he's walking the beach and he sees this boy and he's like, what is this kid doing? Why is he throwing those starfish back in? There's thousands of starfish on the beach. He's not going to be able to save them all. Why does he even bother? And so he goes up to the boy and he says, what are you doing, boy? You foolish boy. You can't save them all. Why do you even bother? And the boy says, he looks at him like, what? What? And he thinks about it for a second. And then he bends over and he picks up a starfish and he throws that one in. And he says, really? It matters to that one. It matters that I just saved that one. And then he picks up another one and he says, that one too. Yep, I just saved that one. And I might not be able to save them all, but I can save a few. Then I am going to do what I can do and make it happen. And so I encourage you to go into this last quarter of the year knowing what you are capable of, taking that ceiling off of yourself and just getting excited and working this business with passion to help people, passion to move forward, and just really treating it as a business. You are an entrepreneur. You are not an employee. And there's a reason why you're here. And there's a reason why you're a part of this and a part of this team and why you're doing what you're doing. Yes, you will get discouraged at times, but that is why we have a team to reach out to help each other, to encourage, and do this together. Because sure, maybe each one of us can only help a couple of people, and that in itself is beyond incredible. Like if you've only helped one person in your entire lifetime, think about the potential of what that can do. And that person then goes on to help these people. It's that whole pay it forward mentality that could reach and span over thousands, hundreds of thousands of people with that pay it forward mentality. And it starts by you helping one person. So think back to why our team name is what it is. It's Team Pay It Forward. And if you help just that one person or those few people, that is what matters. And together as a team, each of us helping a few people will turn into thousands of people, will turn into hundreds of thousands of lives touched over time and changes made for a positive effect. That is a movement that is something to be proud of. That is something that you can leave a legacy with. So I encourage you to keep that in your mind when you get discouraged or when you have those rough moments over the next few months in this business, and keep pumping that well and creating and building that momentum so that you create that resolution effect, so that in the new year, people are going to come to you because they know, like, and trust you, and they've seen what you've been doing. They see you sharing your story, and they want to be a part of it. I hope you guys have a great week.